I think we're recording. There's nobody watching at this point, but they will at some point.
Cunt.
Great. All right, and now we're demonetized. Thanks. So Painkiller Nearly 167. We do this sort of secret podcast once a week, and it's an hour long. But because it was Halloween, we had this idea that we'd all get in costumes and do it live.
And look at these 2 high-effort costumes here. Look at that. 2 high-effort costumes in Gumby.
Two high-effort costumes and
shirt.
No, it's a whole suit.
To show them the back.
This is a whole suit too.
State penitentiary or something is what it says. So there you go. Happy Halloween, everyone. Woody, you honestly impressed me a lot because I don't recall what you were last year, which is how I know I wasn't as impressed as this year. Because next year I'll remember this one.
Last year I was the brawny man. I had like a flannel shirt and paper towels. And I actually thought it was pretty good, but I seem to be alone in that opinion.
You were just a lumberjack who didn't have a toy axe available. Yeah. So dude, a friend of mine, I went out, obviously, this past weekend for Halloween celebrations both nights. And one of my buddies showed up as a lumberjack because that's a very lazy thing to do when you're a bearded man, especially a bearded white man for some reason. Not too many black lumberjacks out there. You know, who knows? But he showed up with a real axe. He brought a real axe, and we're like, dude, we're gonna be going out to bars at some point. You can't bring an axe with you. And so he got into the Uber with an axe, and it's not until after we left that the Uber driver clearly became aware that someone had a real axe in the back of her car, and I don't think she was enthused one bit. She didn't say anything.
Did he get into the bar?
No, he didn't, because we were like, buddy, you can't bring a fucking axe with you. Like, we get it. You want to be the best you can be at a lumberjack. But no, it's not okay to bring real weapons.
A chainsaw would have been even more hardcore, huh?
I mean, just as illegal, in for a penny, in for a pound.
Yeah,
right?
just explain to them like it's low on fuel.
If you take the blade off, then you can crank it and rev it up and stuff. And I feel like you're legal 100%. Like you know, you rev it up outside the bar, put it on your hand, be like, look, nothing. It's not even got a chain. They'll let you in.
If anybody starts up a chainsaw near me, like that's like one of those mean-spirited pranks where it's like somebody dresses up as a terrorist and they throw a suitcase at you and scream Allah Akbar and run away. Like it's not very, it's in poor taste, is what I'm saying, Kyle. If you ever want to go for it, wear a GoPro, because I'd love to see where it all goes from there.
I would dual wield fucking chainsaws before I did that other thing, dressing as a terrorist. I feel like you could run screaming with chainsaws and people be like, yeah, well, it is Halloween. But as we found out today, like there are Halloween terrorists. So
everyone needs a hobby. I think you're being a little judgy.
Wow.
Are we talking about the New York thing right now?
Yeah,
This is arguably the soonest after a tragedy like this that it's become, whatever. Like,
far too soon.
So he killed 6 people, and how many injuries did he get?
I think there are 8 dead.
8 dead.
Twitter's saying so far. 8 dead, dozens injured.
Dozens.
I assume from it was a box truck attack, right? Yep. And then he got out of the box truck and started shooting. Is that correct?
He did not have a real gun. He had 2 fake guns, and he's just there's video of him on a Fox News, just kind of running around in the streets like a madman. He looks confused, and the police are surrounding him. They have him now.
I don't know how to ask this question. White,
yes,
Muslim?
The answer is yes. No. You didn't have to answer. You didn't have to even ask the question. Yes is the answer.
So was the question going to be Muslim?
He is an Uzbeki national.
Uzbeki?
And
God,
he was
terrorism isn't going to help me with my geography.
His name is Saifullo Saipov. That's as American as apple pie, Kyle.
That's true. I rushed to judgment.
It's a melting pot.
You do. I bet you feel like a real bigot, don't you?
As a green man, I have to say that we must never rush to judgment in these situations. Although he was screaming Allahu Akbar, and the chairman of Homeland Security just linked him to ISIS on the news live. So
wow.
Well,
if I were president, this would not have happened.
well, he said his quote was something. They asked him the same thing, and he was like, "Those lines are kind of blurred at this point because ISIS inspires so many attacks online."
I'm sure if we had a wall on the New York beach, this wouldn't have happened. Woody for president.
Yeah, you can't prove that's not true. Yes. Uzbekistan is one of those countries that when I hear about it, I'm like, yeah, I know that's like in the Istan region of the world.
Right.
But I don't know what goes on there other than like alcoholic goat milk. Or no, that was Kazakhstan. That was another region of the Istan.
It's mare's milk. Don't be racist.
I have an adventure motorcycle, and I know nothing about Uzbekistan other than I bet it'd be fun there. Like, it'd be perfect. Ideally suited, lots of barely highways on and off road.
For a man, maybe. I mean, or a woman who'd had her clitoris removed, maybe. They'd let that fly.
Is that a thing there?
Dude,
it's
I'm
a
just
mere
guessing.
20-hour flight if we want to, go be culturally enriched. Yeah.
Or get some payback. Is that what you're suggesting?
No, because the guy who did it's already here.
Oh, Well, Kyle goes to the George W. Bush method of payback, right? Just like
take it to their shores.
Find some brown people. It doesn't even have to be Uzbekistan.
Who's to say where that even is?
Just bomb Iraq again or something. I don't know. America.
There could be dozens, hell, hundreds more of these Uzbekis out there somewhere.
I literally went to take a sip of my Red Bull, and I was like, oh.
I'd say give that another five minutes. So.
Yeah. It's wearing thin.
It's already worn out.
It is.
Dude,
it's
so
also
Kevin
hard
Spacey,
to gauge your responses.
Now, when they said when they said they were canceling House of Cards, I was like, that sucks. But you know what? I think they already filmed the current season, or they're producing it. I don't know where they are. Maybe Kyle knows. You seem to know.
They are in filming right now. Can you imagine how awkward it is?
They canceled it. They cut it.
No. They're filming season 6. Season 6 is happening. It's just ending after season 6.
Chiz, fact check for me. I think that Kyle is a few hours out of date.
Oh.
It's suspended.
Yeah.
Oh, shit went down today.
Shit went down today.
You think that's going to be one of his monologues? He turns to the screen now and he's like, people are a little uptight around here now. Turns out something in my real life got all jumbled up in this. They don't know how many times I've truly been involved. And then he turns back around and it turns out this is just the only one that seeped through. Right?
So,
an interesting thing is Family Guy's called 10 of these. That's exaggerating, but quite a few jokes from Family Guy from 10, 12 years ago are coming true.
They got Osama bin Laden right with the airplane hijacking. Kevin Spacey, of course. What are the others? I'm blanking out.
There's at least who are the other people who have been getting called out recently? Because it was at least one of them.
I don't think they got Bill Cosby.
Weinstein. They did Weinstein.
They did do Weinstein. Well,
they did. I think they might have done a Cosby joke. I don't remember.
Yeah,
but that was a joke. Yeah. Oh. Well, anyway, maybe I was giving them way too much credit. Maybe even a broken clock is right. 3 times every 20 years.
What is the gravity of this offense? I don't have my arms around it quite yet. He was 27. The boy was 14. So that is just too far apart. He hopped in bed with him and do we know that this was an attempted rape of some sort? Was he coming on to him or was he
put yourself on top of a 14-year-old as an adult? 27, that's a year older than me. Mm-hmm. If I put myself on top of a 14-year-old, boy or girl, that's not appropriate. Even more so with the power dynamic of that, where there's a child actor
what was
and
a
someone
14-year-old? Look, what's a 14? First of all, it's bad what he did, but you got to ask, what's a 14-year-old doing at Kevin Spacey's after party where there's alcohol and stuff? They were in a play together at the time, they're working together, but it just doesn't seem like the scene for the. Where is his parents at that are allowing him to go to this party?
What is it with this cock tease at Kevin Spacey's party, laying in his bed seductively and then not putting out?
Well, Kevin carried him into the bed.
Did he? I don't have my facts right at all.
Yeah, like wedding, like bride over the threshold style.
I didn't know that. That's even worse.
Yeah, and he was drunk. I think that makes it better.
No, being drunk does not make it better.
It's his house at a party.
Yeah, but there's nothing wrong with the fact that he is drunk. It's the fact that he was Well, the worst part about it is the ham-handed, oh so fucking obvious thing he did when he came out, where he was just like, oh, that was horrible that I, attempted to molest a 14-year-old while drunk, but that was years ago, and I'm actually gay, and so I'm gonna live as a gay guy now. And then did you see how many headlines? No, he said I'm going to start living as a gay man. And did you see how many news sources, how many of them just reported like Kevin Spacey says he's coming out and living as gay? And it was like, what the fuck? Like he just did the Chelsea Manning thing where they're like, you betrayed this country, and he's like, no, I'm not Bradley anymore. He betrayed the country. I'm Chelsea.
Well, Taylor, you've got a marketing background. Like, how would you have spun it if you? Let's just say you're a kitty toucher, and now you've got to get yourself out of this trouble. I mean, do they teach you this in school? Surely that's what you trained in.
That might be more of a PR thing than a marketing thing.
Yeah, you say tomato, I say tomato.
Trying to handle it, marketing would be like, hey, pedophiles, not too bad, am I right? Like, wouldn't want that. But, yeah, the whole like gay thing. Like, first of all, the LGBT XYZ Q123 community for so many years has tried to distance like the stereotype of like, oh, gay guys, they're predatory. They're towards young boys.
Which actually sunk in with me because I'm a straight guy, but I don't go after little girls. So when you just flip it and say that. Exactly. I don't go after little girls that you know of, right? So you flip it and you'd think that like gay men would like gay men. Work for me.
Yeah, you think so. And I mean, most of them do, obviously. And so like that whole stereotype has taken a while for the mainstream to kind of whittle through. And then Kevin Spacey just comes out and drops this of like, I'm gay and I happen to be drunk and tried to molest a teenager. You know how we are, one day at a time.
But Milo
it's like,
said
no, you kind of just sell everybody down the river there with your made up excuse.
Do you remember Milo? Milo was the young guy in that situation. And he was like, hey, the gay community has something different than the straight community has. Oftentimes people adopt like a father figure and, they're in this position where they're trying to figure out this sexuality, but they feel all alone. So they hook up with an older man. And Milo rationalized it as normal. Now, he might have been sort of doing that because he was a victim. And that's sort of the stance that people are taking now. But if there is any truth to what he said, that these like sort of father-son sexual relationships are part of the gay experience, I don't know.
I don't know about father son exactly.
I think he said boy, like boy was like the term in the gay community, but I think they were meaning more like 18-year-old, 19, 20, like still way younger, like not a literal boy. Okay,
this is what he got in trouble for. This is why his book got canceled. Like this kind of talk, and him sort of defending that sort of sexual relationship within the gay community. This is what brought him down.
This is not going to help my run.
Yeah.
All right, so who's next?
I'm sunk.
Right?
Oh, the next pedo in Hollywood? Mel Gibson, maybe?
No.
Oh, come on.
No. He just wants his blowjob before the jacuzzi.
You pig. You
pig.
Fat pig.
Those are, if anybody out there hasn't listened to the Mel Gibson tapes, it is fucking hysterical because when he gets mad about not getting a blowjob before the jacuzzi, like in every man's mind out there, like women must listen to that and be like, what an idiot, what an animal. But to men out there, I'm like, well, you probably promised that you'd give him a blowjob before the jacuzzi and that's all he was thinking about. And then you tried to do it after the jacuzzi and then you were too tired. And it was like, oh man, Mel, like the rest of this is really anti-Semitic, but you really hit a chord with me right here about the timing of the there was nothing more infuriating than a promised blowjob going unperformed. Nothing more frustrating.
Look, I've never had one of those massage happy ending things, but I really think I'd prefer a happy beginning. I feel like you just kick it off, get yourself fully relaxed, and then enjoy the massage. And then,
no, because you don't want anybody touching you after. You're like, yeah, all right, fuck off. I just want to take a nap.
There is kind of a chemical thing going on there, where I just
fuck off.
All the ideas I thought were good ahead of time suddenly become not good ideas.
You have to be there.
But yeah, I just had this idea, like you get your release and then you enjoy a relaxing massage. That sounds wonderful.
Well, Mel's interesting. Very religious guy, though. Directed Passion of the Christ, among other projects. I don't know about him.
Eddie Murphy. Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead. You go. But Eddie Murphy had the transvestites.
Eddie Murphy has been out in the news before. Eddie Murphy is definitely
Really?
a possibility. And the reason that I think, and I'm kind of going with a similar trend here, I think one of the reasons that you can go toward these sort of closeted gay men is because they will often prey upon young straight men because no young straight man wants to come out and be like, I was set upon by a rich, famous gay guy, because people are going to be like, first of all, he's not gay. Second of all, you're never working in this town again. So it's a really effective strategy for someone like John Travolta. And it comes full circle because he was accused, and he totally did, grope that male masseuse not too long ago. So John Travolta, I think, is a prime candidate to come out because he's also one of those guys who used to be like a heartthrob, Saturday Night Fever, Grease, good-looking young guy who could have gotten all the straight boy tail he wanted.
Is there a lot of truth to the whole he groped masseuses?
Yes.
That ended up being true.
But how do we know that's true? Kyle, do you have any source for this, or are you just
the masseuse, and his history of like rumors surrounding him always that he's gay. That's a gay man. Yeah, that's a gay man.
So, but where's your ranking go with those two? Like, what do you think is more likely?
Well, I think that they're both 100% likely because Eddie Murphy got arrested with a transvestite in his car, a transvestite prostitute, and the rumors have surrounded. I don't know, in like the early 90s, late 80s, something like that.
That makes sense. I wouldn't know that.
I think that they're both 100% true, that they are not necessarily pedophiles, but that I think that they are likely to be like in that pool of potential predatory Hollywood fixtures. So I like those two a lot.
Okay. So
Rosie
you think
O'Donnell, maybe?
Those are up next. And Rosie O'Donnell, you should get triple points for a female.
I agree.
If you're correct.
That's double word score right there. Yeah, if it's a lady preying upon people, there's definitely. Yeah, I could see her being one because Oprah maybe.
It's not assault
Oprah.
or anything. But did you see
Oprah's
that Ellen DeGeneres did that thing with Katy Perry where she like looked at her tit, like took a picture staring right at Katy Perry, because obviously Ellen DeGeneres is a lesbian. I know that's probably news to many of you, but just staring at Katy Perry's tits and was like, "Oh, time for big balloon season," or some joke. And it's not offensive. Who really cares? But can you imagine if a man said that to Katy Perry while taking a picture on her TV show of staring at her tits? And it's like, that's a little bit of lesbian privilege, if I do say so.
I was thinking, sometimes I go through this scenario in my head, like me as a lesbian, I feel like I'd be really handsy with all my friends.
Oh yeah,
because girls get away with that.
Yeah, because most people want women to touch them. Most men want women to touch them. Because if a woman touches me in a way that I don't like, I'm positive I can get her away from me. Like I can shove or push or do whatever, or probably just run away faster than her because I don't want to get arrested for defending myself. Like, whereas
like guys, right? If I had a gay guy friend, I do have a gay guy friend actually, but if a gay guy friend were to like put his hands all over me and stuff, I'd be like, bro, like, come on, it's not like that. But I feel like girls get to be handsy all the time, and I would just be all over that. I take advantage to the fullest extent.
Are straight girls playing? Straight girls playing, another one of my favorite pornographic subreddits.
I have a lot of expertise in this subreddit.
Big fan.
Mm-hmm.
Chiz wrote in the chat.
Great.
Chiz wrote in the chat just now that Adam Sandler touched Winona Ryder's boob back in 2002. I think she was okay with that. That was probably a prearranged gag. However, he recently, this week, was on the Graham Norton show, and he kept putting his hand on Claire Foy, who I don't know who that is, but she's an actress, and I watched the clip. He kept putting his hand on her knee, and like she finally had to like take his hand and like put it on his knee, and like and they were giving him a lot of shit about that on Twitter. So I think that's kind of minor league stuff, honestly.
That doesn't hold up to the Weinstein kind of stuff that we've been seeing.
Yeah, so Weinstein obviously over the top, right? But gosh,
Cosby
back in the day when you actually like hit on women in real life, a knee touch might be something you use to gauge if she likes you back, right? Like you might just talk and seem to be hitting it off, and then you lean in for a kiss at one point. Nowadays, sometimes they act like that's attempted rape. That was taking a risk, taking a chance.
It depends how good looking you are and how smooth the date had gone up until then.
Well, sure, but I don't know. Thank God I'm not single. I really don't know how to do this. I could totally see me like back of the fingernail against a kneecap just to see, whether that
wings.
No, no, this is just like
that's okay. Back of the fingernail as you're gonna go.
I wasn't meant to be that.
With the
Or maybe like the touch or something. I don't know, just like a playful little like contact to see if I get the good vibe or the bad vibe from that.
Find this playful. I'm not even on a date with you, sir.
Look at those fingernails. Do you play guitar? Now I'm a seducer.
Hypothetical modern day single Woody would have to bring a notary with him on dates. like they have to sign a consent form, notarize that shit, witness it. Like you'd have to be careful.
I think like most of this shit, like people just know, like the whole media and everything will blow it up into like, oh, you got to be like super, super careful with this and that and not being too forward or whatever. It's like, or you can just kind of like use context clues for how conversations are going and know that, people have been doing this for all time. Flirting is just kind of part of evolution. You're going to strike out more often than you don't, or at least I think most guys.
That's what Harvey Weinstein says.
Yeah, Harvey Weinstein may not say that. Who knows?
1,000% batting average. Yeah.
I feel like they're trying to like trump up the fear of it when like really most men and women out there, the majority aren't creeps, and so they kind of know how to play it. Right, Kyle? Your eyes are saying, eh.
I think that there are a lot of socially inept men out there. Another subreddit I like our Indian people Facebook totally suggests that. I sent you guys that picture the other day, and it's like an Indian man giving you like the sexy eye, and it says "freak in the sheets, shit in your streets."
Yes, that was a good one.
Kyle and Indian man.
Well, they're the new Ireland. Like I'm off. I like Conor McGregor too much to keep hating on the Irish. Like I really like. I like the fanfare. I like the support that they bring behind that guy as an athlete. When I saw them singing in that that hotel,
I know.
Yeah, they're all like singing in unison. It's like, man, these are good people. They're okay. These tater eaters, like, just let it go.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Tater eaters.
Yeah, I like potatoes.
I can't wait for the next nationality that you dislike. Who knows? It could be Uzbekistan. I mean, we'll have to have a Wikipedia page up so things to make fun of.
Yeah, I don't know what the fuck they're up to over there, other than running people over in New York City. Do they have any good UFC fighters out of there? I'm not sure. But definitely the Indians right now. Dots, not feathers. I really dislike the ones with feathers too. But we'll get to them another time.
That's coming up next in our bigotry bit.
And when you say we'll get to them another time, you're talking about smallpox, right?
Yes, I absolutely am talking about smallpox.
That's how we're going to get to them.
We'll finish the job.
Who, Woody? Did you say who your predictions were?
Best I came up with was Mel Gibson. What do you got?
Oh, okay.
One
Murphy. That I think might come out allegedly. Oh, you both picked Eddie Murphy. Okay. That must be a really good one. I didn't even think of him. I think one that might come out just based on all the old Opie and Anthony that I've listened to is Jim Jeffries, who now has his own Comedy Central show.
He's the gun guy, right?
He's the gun guy. He's Australian, and he knows what's best for this country. I just fucked it up. I'm doing British now. But his whole show, now he's like a mainstream kind of guy with his own Comedy Central show. And if you look up just on YouTube, like Jim Jeffries, Opie and Anthony, there are a ton of hilarious clips. But he's doing and saying things to some of these like female guests that if it came out, like it would ruin him. Like people would not be able to like stand behind Jim Jeffries. Like maybe he's done like a.
So you take it out of that context and he's screwed, right? Like
some of it
Painkiller
was like,
already has 1,000 moments like that.
Yeah. No, this is honestly, this stuff is more offensive than anything we've ever done on this show.
I don't know how that can be.
Then look up Jim Jeffries' old
Did he rape a woman live on air? Like Did he bludgeon a child with
Taylor,
a
we've had people get hand jobs during the show, Taylor.
Well, I mean, we didn't.
No, we've had
okay,
it's fine. But
Taylor got knocked off his game. What happened there, Taylor?
No, I was gonna say, hey, it wasn't a hand job. It was a little bit of friendly touching. And then it was like, oh, okay, well, let's not go down into
Oh,
this.
we're talking about Taylor's hand job. I thought we were talking about me. Okay.
No, Kyle, you're a blowjob. Get it straight.
Yeah. But
I
Jim Jeffries,
completed most
that,
sexual acts.
that
on
is
the
one
show.
I can see. I've never completed a sexual act on the show. I have far too much respect for what we're doing here. But Jim Jeffries, that is a good one, I think, because like there was one clip I'll have to go back and watch because I don't know like the quote, but he was like on there and there was a stripper and he was like doing like the banter and the talk and shit, and she said something about her ass and he said something about wanting to like scoop her shit out with a knife and then something about rape. It was very uncouth, even for the O&A show. So
Kind
you
of
know,
knife.
I don't know. I don't know.
Like a paring knife, maybe? Like something dull?
A Billy knife. Yeah, probably. Knowing him.
Kyle, do you
But-
carry a knife? I'm curious. I suspect you might.
I keep one in the vehicle, you
Oh,
know,
that's it.
and I've got a bunch of them.
Mhm.
If I'm working, yeah, I'll throw one in my pocket. Like if I'm doing something that requires the knife, but like not generally. There's just enough knives laying around at this point that there's like one in every room because I've been gifted so many knives, and those CS:GO knife company like sent us. I don't know how many fucking knives. I give those things away
yeah.
all the time. I mean, my dad came over the other day and I was like, "You want an enormous Bowie knife with red skulls on it?" He's like, "I guess I could slice tomatoes with this."
I
or
don't even
something."
know what it's called. We've got a knife about the size of a banana and it's rainbow colored, and my wife uses it to open boxes. It's just like she could be a pirate with that thing.
Yeah. The gut. It's like a Velociraptor claw, maybe.
Yeah, something like that. But it's kind of good looking. It's like blue faded into red. It shimmers and such. Yeah, we've got knives. But I just carry my Leatherman. That's all I have for a knife. But I keep it all the time. Wallet, keys, knife, flashlight.
Yeah.
Phone.
Flashlight. See, Scully could have learned from you all those years on the X-Files. They never had a good flashlight. That was my main complaint with that show.
I'm having an
Speaking
issue
of
with-
shows, unless you have some X-Files talk.
I was going to go into Walking Dead.
Yes, that's what I wanted.
So 2 shows right now, 60 minutes each, about 120 minutes of fighting so far, and all of it. Like, look, I'm not a military guy. I get that. I don't pretend that.
I'm with you already.
Yeah, but all this fighting is so hard. Like they roll up with cars and they have, what is that, like aluminum roof material?
Corrugated.
Aluminum or something.
Yeah.
Whatever it is. I could poke a hole in it with a pencil nearly. And
Yep.
these guys are using it as bulletproof. And all their tactics are ridiculously terrible. All the fight scenes are horrific, doing like non-fighting. Like I don't mean to try to come off as Billy Badass, but the Walking Dead zombie movie, the most unrealistic thing that I can't get on board with is just how badly choreographed the fighting is. It's Sand Snake level bullshit.
Yeah. Did you like that rear naked choke Rick threw on that guy?
No, not at all. That was a terrible rear naked choke.
What was that?
Yeah, and not only it took him minutes for the rear naked choke works in like less than 10 seconds, and his
they're
was going
fighting
on
back
forever.
and big neck and
And he wasn't defending the choke right either. He was trying to pull against the elbow instead of the
Well,
hands
that's
that were holding
fine
it
though
together.
because he wouldn't know how to defend against it, but Rick should know how to apply it. He's a cop,
He's a
right?
cop. Yeah, choking people's part of the gig, right?
Absolutely, that whooping him with sticks. My biggest complaint about that fight that he had was the guy disarms him twice. Right, first he knocks the machine gun out of Rick's hands, then he knocks the revolver out of Rick's hand, and then there's a part where Rick does like a WWE throwing the guy onto a desk, and the guy falls over and bends over the desk. He's still got the hatchet on his left hip. In my head, I'm like hatchet slash, and he's done. Like I just wanted to whack him in the back of the head with the hatchet.
And the coup d'etat of that fight, he threw him against like a shelf support, which punctured right through his heart. And I was
Yeah,
just
man.
The fighting is so bad, and I think we're in for 8-hour-long shows of bad
The gunplay's
fighting.
worse.
Or
The gunplay's
16.
so
Bad
much
fighting.
worse.
Yeah.
The gunplay is so much worse.
I was,
What
uh,
do you
wrapping that
notice
into
that's
the fighting.
so horrible about the gunplay, Kyle? Because obviously as an expert, it's like when I watch movies about hockey. I'm like, that's not how any of this works.
So all right,
Flying V.
Yeah, it's just feeding a goal to the other team. Wait, so they're all out of position? Jesus
well,
Christ! All right.
there's lots of things. like first of all, none of them are using the guns right most of the time. They're spraying it over their head. They've got optics on there like ACOGs and red dots and stuff, but they're not using them. I noticed the King, he's got an AR with the back sight flipped down. It's not even up. It's for use. You know, so everybody's just pointing their machine guns because apparently we've got so much fucking ammo that we can just spray mags at people, and it's these bullets go through everything. Like a bullet, an AR will shoot through the car like easily, and especially if you're just spraying an entire mag through the car. But these people are hiding behind tables that are flipped up like an Arnold Schwarzenegger 80s movie or something like that. So, like, everything is wrong with the guns. They're not using their sights. They're not shooting accurately. It's not filmed well. It's not filmed in the way, like, you want the camera over the guy's right shoulder so you can see that he's shooting at someone and then they're getting hit, and I want blood packs going off on the guys. That's my ideal gunplay in a movie kind of shit. Like, you should
Aside
see
from
the guy.
big stuff, is there anything, like, from an expert level that you noticed that they
There's
just
no recoil.
butcher?
You know, there's no recoil. The guns don't sound the way they're supposed to sound. Nobody ever reloads, really.
They're shooting full auto, and none of them have bandoliers, right? So, like, how long does it take to empty a 30-round clip? 2 seconds?
2 seconds.
Yeah, right? But they never reload, and they don't seem to have any more ammo on them. They're just holding the trigger down.
In defense of that, every single Hollywood movie and show does the reload thing. Like, it's rare when you watch a movie and you're like, oh, wow, he's reloading. Like, I haven't seen John Wick 2.
We've gotten past that, man. We got movies like John Wick out there, like, showing people how it can be done, especially with the martial arts and the gunplay. Like, The Walking Dead is one of the biggest shows on TV. I would like it if they had stepped there, if they had literally went and been, hey, hire that guy that did the John Wick movie. Let him do our gun choreography. Let's step this up a notch and spend an extra $1 million, whatever it would fucking cost to like really kill it. But it annoys me, and it's been that way since season 1, back when Rick looks over at Shane and says, take your safety off. And Shane reaches up to his Glock 19 and flicks his thumb over the slide release, and they insert the audio of a click. And it's just like,
They couldn't have used the gun with a safety?
Yeah, Glocks don't have safeties, for those who don't know. They don't have safeties. Like it's really annoying.
That's one step above him like taking his safety off of his 357.
Like, there you go. Yeah. Also, no safety on that bad boy.
Do wheel guns
Rick's
ever
running
have
around.
safeties?
Do what?
Do wheel guns ever have safeties?
I can't think of any that do, honestly, off the top of my head. The hammer really operates as kind of a safety. It's got 3 different cock stops and on it, so it kind of acts as your safety, especially with a double action because it's just such a long trigger pull, or even more so with a single action because you can't even fire it without cocking
like
it.
Maryland, for example, requires safeties or something. That's why they like, I've got a Maryland legal gun. It takes an Allen key to take the safety off.
Yeah.
Oh, so just in case someone breaks in and you live in Baltimore, you can be like, just a minute.
Yeah, just in case someone breaks in.
Where are my Allen keys? They're in the safe.
What is this metric? Is this metric? Does anyone remember? Yeah.
Rick's running around with an MP5 with a Picatinny rail on it, which is pretty neat. And he's actually got double mags on it. He duct taped two 30-round mags to it that he's flipping around. The gunplay really is messing things up, and the tactics even more so, because like they start the show off and like there Negan is. He's on his fucking porch, 50 yards away tops, and we don't have a sniper. We ain't got nobody who can just like shoot him right now.
You've got 19 people with machine guns. That would do it too.
It would absolutely do it too, especially when Rick was crafty. He was like, "You gonna make me count? You gonna make me count? 10, 9, 8, 7." Like I liked that move, but I would like it more if he killed Negan right then and there, or at least kneecapped him or something like that. How do they all miss Negan? And Negan kind of like grins and like ducks down, like that old man duck and jog. Like when you got to hurry across the street and you just want to pump your arms even faster than your feet are moving to show you're putting effort into like getting out of the car's way. He like does one of those because I guess Jeffrey Dean Morgan isn't the greatest athlete in the world and jogs over and takes cover somewhere. Man, It irked me. It really did. I like the direction the story's going in. I like that we're fighting and we're in a war, but
It just you
Didn't.
can't suspend your disbelief enough.
I could suspend it enough to do a show with zombies and a show to that has a tiger leaping on people. That was awesome. I love the tiger, and I thought that CGI is.
Well, that's a good
I think
point.
CGI is excellent.
I didn't even.
But can you
think of
imagine how
CGI.
selfish it is to keep a tiger as a pet in the apocalypse? That's hundreds of pounds of meat a week. Like, you can't put that on a flaxseed diet. It'll die. It's a tiger. Like, I don't know. There were a lot of people upset at how many vegetarian entrees were going down in that town. I guarantee you that, because of, the king's pet tiger. I don't know.
hadn't
That's a good way to get your power usurped. Isn't that a fair point?
Yeah,
Like, if
I hadn't
Kyle
thought of it.
was the king and he had a couple of pet bears, it would be 15 minutes after I saw those bears getting fed before I was talking to everybody else. Like, guys, are you guys shitting me? Like, he's
I like
getting
salmon.
the same quality of meat as us, and they're bears. Like, they can't hold guns. If shit goes down, they're just as dangerous to us as they are to anyone else. Like,
I'm not
I
a
don't
big
know.
fan of zombie bears either. Is that a problem? I mean, we're doing a little Walking Dead Game of Thrones crossover here, but zombie bears seem like an issue.
Zombie bears I'm fine with because they don't need to eat to survive, and they're around a bunch of other dead
eat
creatures, and
you.
there's like an understanding there with the dead.
I'm just saying, zombie bears are dangerous.
Oh yeah, they are dangerous. Yeah,
They seem-
definitely.
Seems like an issue.
I also didn't like them taking those people prisoner.
Oh, Jesus has been such a great character until lately.
Yeah, what a pussy.
Dude, there's two characters
just-
I don't get. Jesus, like we said, suddenly he's not even like he's the most caring, giving, enemy forgiving person ever. Pussy. Okay, I'll go with that. And then the other guy can't die. What's up with him?
Oh, Morgan. Well,
Morgan.
that was just a little bit of confidence, I was okay with that.
But everyone else, like they stepped in. There were more bad guys than good guys. All the good guys got shot, and then Morgan just sort of looks around, realizes that he wasn't shot and can't die. What are they doing here?
He just played dead.
Okay.
That wasn't a miracle or anything.
Well, he said I can't die like for a year now, and it seems to be true, and it's weird.
Well, he was, if you remember his backstory, he's a little insane. He's gotta clear it all. Had those zombies in a big pile and everything in that circle. He's a little nutty. He's not all there. He's had a hard time. I guess they've all had a hard time. But
Yeah.
he lost his whole family.
Yeah,
They all lost
They've
their
all
own
had a
family.
rough go of it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you guys?
Yeah, that's like
said about
complaining
that.
about not having parents at an orphanage. It's like, yeah, we're all in the same boat, buddy. We're all here because we don't have parents. Like, get over it. But
What was that suicide movie called? Suicide Note on Netflix. It was like 10 episodes. It wasn't a movie. Did you guys see that?
Death Note.
Is that what it is? About a
Oh,
teenage girl mostly?
No, that's a different thing. You're
No,
thinking
the one
about
I'm thinking of, like the guy wrote somebody's name in a book, and it was like, I want him to get beheaded, and then 13 Reasons Why.
13
that's
Reasons
that's
Why.
the girl suicide.
I haven't seen that. It looks really like a downer.
Yeah.
So no thanks.
It was good, I thought, and okay. So one of the ways I measure shows is how it makes me feel, right? And not necessarily any particular feeling, but if
Turns
it
you on.
gets me to feel, then that's impressive for me, right? I bring up Indecent Proposal was a long time ago, but that show had me like, I don't know. I didn't like Indecent Proposal for days. I was like, oh, fuck, like that would ruin everything. Like in the movie, Demi Moore and Woody Harrelson's character, they get $1 million. She sleeps with Robert Redford. She leaves him for Robert Redford. And then somewhere in the movie, Woody wins her back. Or Robert Redford realizes that she's just with him for the money, and she goes back to Woody. And now they're happily ever after. Wait, what? Now now there's a permanent scar on their relationship that will never really come back. And while it's the fact that the movie made me like, oh no, like something awful happened. It's just a shame that the whole thing went down that route, made me impressed by the movie. Back to 13 Reasons Why. Another way, I didn't finish that thing, clicking my heels and dancing, but it made me feel like, wow, that was awful. It was tragic, and I feel bad for this fake story. I was impressed by that. It made me feel bad. So
I try to steer away from the stuff that makes me feel bad. Like Taylor was watching The Green Mile the other day. He's like, I need a good cry.
Oh.
I need a good cry. I'm gonna, and I'm just, and just like I had like a flash of like the 8 or 9 moments in that movie that are just heartbreaking, like when Mr. Jangles gets stomped on, and like how shitty Percy is, and take my hand, boss.
Yeah.
I was like all that shit is just wet. You watch that motherfucker once, it's wonderful. All the characters do a great job. It's an incredible movie, but I don't need to go back to that. That's a Stephen King thing, isn't it? Stephen King makes some good shit.
13 Reasons
He
Why.
does.
with
He
Stephen
makes
King?
some fucked up.
No,
Oh,
Green
the
Mile.
No.
Green Mile. Yeah.
Yeah.
Green Mile.
Yeah.
And It was him. And there's a new movie on Netflix called 1922. I watched that. I thought it was good.
Well,
My
Did you like
dad
it, Kyle?
watched it. He said it was excellent. So
What's
now
it
I have to
about?
watch
I
it.
don't know anything.
It's about it's about a corn farmer. He owns, I think, like 80 acres. His wife owns like 100 acres. And she wants to like sell it, I think. And he has no control over this. So he murders her to inherit her 100 acres because he cares about the farm and he wants to keep it. And then some supernatural shit happens that's terrifying for him because of what he's done with the wife and everything.
But it's kind of like an up in the air. Is it supernatural? Is it not supernatural? I don't want to give anything away, but it's really good. I liked it a lot. I think if you haven't seen it, you should check it out. Usually those Netflix movies are kind of like in the background kind of stuff, but I started out with that, and then before I knew it, I was like invested and really liking it. Like the acting was much better than what you get in most of these. Like they're coming out with these Netflix movies so fast. I think it might have been Woody who brought this up on the other show, where it's like it doesn't have the feeling of like, oh, a new movie. It's just kind of like, let's see. There's nobody in here who I've ever seen or heard of. Probably
Martin
won't be good.
Scorsese has one coming. It's called The Irishman. He's got a $100 million movie that he made for Netflix. It's a mob movie. So that sounds really promising. I don't remember the cast, but it might have DiCaprio in it. I don't really remember. It's got some big names in it, so that'll be good. I watched Pet Sematary the other night to kind of keep with the spooky Halloween / Stephen King
Not great.
motif. It's a good movie. It absolutely is good.
Okay.
But it's a real fucking downer because that toddler gets crushed by a truck right away. And they're at the funeral, and the father-in-law is like, "You did this! You did this!" and like punches the dad, and the dad falls on the casket, and the little boy's hand flops out. Like, it's some dark shit.
It's been a while since I've seen it.
Yeah, it is dark. Like that's one movie it's going to be way better when they redo it, because you bet your ass they're absolutely going to start redoing a ton of Stephen King movies, seeing with how successful it was.
I haven't been on board the whole like remake complaint thing, but I'm starting to. Bionic Man is coming out. It just feels like they're recycling.
$6 billion man.
Yes.
Wait,
what?
what?
There was the
6
Bionic.
million.
So there was but now it's $6 billion. Because inflation, obviously, a $6 million man isn't very impressive.
Yeah, they're all over the place.
Like that's an NFL athlete, right?
Yes.
Like, that's like a prosthetic arm. That's cool.
That's like one Marine at this point.
Yeah, right.
And it was the Bionic Woman. Those were the two shows that were on TV, really cheesy, shitty shows. But I like the sound effects from the $6 Million Man. I hope they keep those because like when he's running and doing stuff, it's like na 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 na. I hope that comes back. Who do you want to be who? Maybe they've already said who's the $6 Billion Man.
Is it Ryan Gosling or there's like a couple guys that look the same?
Ryan Gosling's the good-looking one. Ryan Reynolds is the bigger, good-looking one.
I want to say it's a Chiz.
Ryan Reynolds plays Deadpool.
Yeah.
And
Chiz
other
or
things.
chat, can you tell us who it is? Who's playing the $6 Billion Man?
Oh, Mark Wahlberg. Ah, okay.
Marky Mark?
I watched that shit. You got Mark Wahlberg in there?
Huh.
Okay.
Yeah, I like Marky Mark.
Yeah, man, I like him. Maybe he does a dance number with his new legs.
He's a
or something.
murderer, right?
A what?
A murderer? Didn't he murder somebody?
No.
First Kevin Spacey, and now you're telling me that Marky Mark is a murderer?
Maybe
I think he beat up a Puerto Rican and maybe called him
I
some
want to say the guy
racial
was
names.
Asian or something. Was it in Vietnam or South
Yeah,
Korea
he called
or
him a
something?
gook or something while he whooped his ass. But I mean, look, Marky Mark is a national treasure. Okay, we can let that shit slide.
He is funky.
Yeah, I mean, like,
fucking fun.
you know what's amazing? What people are letting slide for so long is Chris Brown. Like I saw him trending on Twitter today, and I was expecting like, oh, another kerfuffle. Who's surprised? And then I clicked, and it was like Chris Brown just dropped a 40-song album, and it was just so many chicks tweeting like those gifs of like sassy black women or like people, you know, because that's like one of the big things on Twitter is like the sassy black woman gif.
Yeah.
And they'll be like, to all the people saying that, you know, if you still like Chris Brown, you're a piece of trash. And it would be like some gif of someone like jumping in a trash can or something because they're trash because they love Chris Brown. And it's like, I don't know, that dude, I don't listen to his music, but it must be fucking fantastic.
He has one song I like. I think it's about marriage or something. Does it say, you want to marry me? I don't know.
Slap her in the mouth when she's talking her shit.
I think someone's going to know this song. Cheers might be typing it right now. It might be called Marry Me. And I think it was in The Office. They did a...
Marry me.
Yeah. Oh, somebody help me with this. Isn't it his... Do-do-do. Do-do-do-do.
No,
That's not helping?
Hate monger
That's
song.
is it Jason Derulo?
Oh,
Marry me. I just googled it.
Totally
I don't know who
different
that is
person.
either.
Is that
you might
the
be
case?
right. Ah,
Wow. Win some, you lose some. You nailed Indecent Proposal. You got all three actors.
You went to me and listen. Yeah, that was your 3-game winning streak, you know, but it had to come to a close. You know?
yeah. Oh, God.
Yeah, that I don't know. It's surprising that he's still so popular among so many people. Like I saw more people tweeting about how great the music was.
It's Forever. They're helping me. Forever is the song that I like by Chris. Thank you, guys. See,
Oh yeah. Okay. Oh, they all know.
They get me.
We're cool.
I think it
We
was
know the
the
songs.
doo-doo-doo that got it. I think it was Forever. Yeah, that's the one song of his. It's on my iPod.
What Rihanna said. What she did? How did that get kicked off? You know?
Yeah,
what-
right. Bill Burr has a thing on this, and
Yeah.
and he makes a lot of solid points. He's like, "There's no way she was like wearing nothing but an apron, pulling out a bunch of chocolate chip cookies, saying, you know, Chris, look what I did for you," and then he starts beating her up. Like,
Yeah.
There was a little "don't back down" on both sides, I suspect. Did she hit first? I don't know.
I don't think Rihanna could throw a punch. Rihanna's
Not a
looking
good
sexy,
one,
though.
but you know.
Rihanna's fucking hot. Rihanna's got some
Still?
R/torpedo titties. Big fan.
Does she? How do you know?
There's plenty of nudes of Rihanna, and then she dresses really, really provocatively, like, you know, no bra and stuff, and see-through mesh and such. I've got
All right,
got a
I
few
don't believe
folders
you.
I
I'll
can
have
share.
to see.
Who's the hottest female pop star right now?
Katy Perry?
I like Taylor more.
Ugh.
Oh, Taylor Swift?
Yeah,
I mean, she's very attractive too.
little Tay Tay.
Oh, Rihanna's 29? I'm a fucking loser. Like,
Ah, yes. Oh,
3 years older than me.
I know
Wow.
so how you feel. I've said this before. I grew up. I'm like either one day older or younger than Eric Lindros,
Yeah.
and I just never stacked up to that guy.
No.
If people watching, he was an NHL player.
Yeah,
Much
one of the
better than
best.
me, actually. Yeah.
I think Lindsay Lohan still looks pretty fucking good. I saw her the other night defending Harvey Weinstein
Get
on Instagram.
out. Lindsay
Oh, yeah,
Lohan
man.
still looks
Yeah.
good.
Oh
She's
yeah, I think
Muslim now.
I don't care if she's an Uzbeki national renting ryder trucks with a stolen ID. I get all over
great.
that. I'd be riding shotgun with her, going down on her while she goes through bike paths in southern Manhattan.
Unclogging the hopper in her paint gun.
Jesus
In her
Christ.
paintball gun.
It was like 6 hours ago, Kyle. Jesus.
She's fucking hot. I'll be her alibi. Like,
We were praying all morning. Yeah.
I'd be eating that ginger pussy, just mumbling Allahu Akbar, like absolutely all over that shit. She's
For Lindsay
I
Lohan?
wanted her.
Dude, she is definitely crazy though.
I
Jeez,
think
can
she
you
and I
find
are
a
like the
recent
same age.
picture?
I think she's 31, so it was okay for me to be kind of attracted to her in The Parent Trap. 31, because there's two of them, right? She played twins, and I didn't know that she was playing twins. I was like, oh, there's fucking two of them. This is awesome. And then, of course, she did like Herbie or Kirby, Fully Loaded, whatever that fucking movie with the talking Volkswagen is. And then Mean Girls
Are you
comes
saying
out.
you were as fooled as the parents in like Parent Trap and that you couldn't
Well-
recognize it was the same kid?
Yeah.
Well, it's
one
the
of them has
opposite
a
happening
British
in The Parent
accent.
Trap.
You know?
It's in Parent Trap. They switch places or whatever or something like that. But she played convincing twins is all I'm getting at. And she's always been fucking hot. I like redheaded girls. I like the freckles. I like the big titties. I like that she got a little trashy and heavy set. Went into rehab and shit. That's
need a
all
recent
fucking-
You like
picture.
that?
Because I think of Lindsay Lohan as like the after picture on a "Don't Do Meth" type thing. Like she's had some bad years where.
Yeah, she has had some bad years, and that attracts me to her even more. She sings some shit.
I've never seen her Kirby or Herbie, whatever, Fully Loaded, that bug movie. And
Mean Girls.
I still remember when those commercials were on TV, the previews for it, just seeing her in the little driver outfit and seeing her tits struggling so much to burst free of that little driver's suit. And I remember watching and being like, God, like she's frustratingly hot. And then just a couple years later, it was like she's losing it on Twitter or something. Maybe I'm thinking of someone else. It's hard to keep track.
Nah, she did the Playboy spread where she's blonde and she's doing the Marilyn Monroe stuff and she's nude. Her Instagram's over there. The Mean Girl stuff was super hot because she was like 18, like prime Lindsay, like just smoking hot. I'd be all over that. Absolutely, yeah.
Mean Girls is a great movie.
It's actually not a bad movie. I think Tina Fey may have written that or produced it or both. So they got some smart SNL talent behind that. Amy Poehler might be in that too. That's a good movie. Yeah. Mm-hmm. I can't get through without masturbating though, so I don't watch it anymore.
He's only seen the first 15 minutes.
The Blu-ray's all sticky.
Yeah, I got that issue with Schindler's List.
Yeah. That was exactly where I was going to go. Damn it, Woody. I was trying to think of what's the saddest movie out there.
Sophie's Choice. Sophie's Choice.
I've never seen Sophie's Choice.
I've never seen Miracle.
Oh, that's a great. You would enjoy that movie.
Oh wait, I'm thinking of Precious.
Oh yeah, there's a very
that.
different movie. Precious is not the film where the 1980 Olympic team defeats the Russians.
No.
Yeah.
I'd love to see Precious, throw her hat into the ring in the remake, like those, how they replace lots of movies now with like, hey, we could make another movie that's not original at all, but just fucking make them all women or make them all black or whatever. Like
Ghostbusters.
That's the next one up. Yeah, where it's
Ghostbusters.
It's a little pandery, but anyway.
Oh, but I think Katy Perry, it's like hot pop stars who are like in it because Lindsay Lohan never sang anyway that I know of. I hope not. She probably tried because they all do. But Katy Perry is much hotter than Taylor Swift to me. Taylor Swift is a stick with she's got a tight body. Yeah. She's done everything that can be done with that body.
Keep going.
It's not an attractive body set, or it's not like top tier by any means. It's very average, I think. Like there's so many skinny girls who have weird faces out there to compete with her. She's got a weird face. Look at her.
You know who else is
Taylor
really hot?
Swift?
I get her name. Is it either Adele or Ariana Grande? I get them mixed up.
Ariana Grande is the one that you think's hot. Adele is the heavy set lady who you would vomit over because you're not into that sort of look.
Okay. Then and I saw her do like she can imitate other singers really well. It was an SNL skit over it.
Yeah.
And is she legal? She looks super young.
Yeah, that's the thing Stern always says. He's like, no, Ariana Grande. She looks like a little kid. She looks like a tiny. I think maybe she's Hispanic or something, but she looks like she's like 16 at 24. So
good.
Yeah,
she's 24. Oh, I changed my answer.
You like her too?
I'm about those giant boobies that Katy Perry has rocking over there, just gyrating and jiggling and just looking real fucking nice. And she's
but Ariana Grande is 9 years younger.
And Katy Perry is like $900 million richer or something like that. So
that does help her. Yes.
Who cares? She's not going to give you any of her money.
Oh, I'd get her pregnant. I'd like say she was an abuser or something, and then I get custody of the kid. I get you to beat me up a little bit, and then we pretend like she did it.
This is a little scary. I don't want to fuck Kyle anymore.
Dude, they're gonna make a movie about your escapades called Gone Boy. Yeah.
Yeah. Just frame that whole thing up. Get some of that Katy Perry cash. So yeah, I definitely think Katy Perry. I would rather fuck one Katy Perry than like hypothetical magical Taylor Swift twins. Like if you could some sort of like Stewie Griffin Taylor Swift and make two Taylor Swifts so they could do some sort of like ball in each mouth double blowjob action. I
saw that on Reddit today.
Yeah, me too. That was a good gift.
My God, what?
He had the blonde on the left and the brunette on the right. And like the brunette's completely deep throating while the blonde is sucking his balls, and then they just keep alternating. And then
I am fully confident we saw the same GIF. That was the one.
Absolutely, we saw the same GIF.
But here's what blew me away.
A little too red for my taste, right?
What got me is the guy had a bit of a belly, right? Now these two women are.
It's the angle. Trust me.
Beautiful. They're beautiful women, and they're seemingly amateurs. I don't know. It seemed, was it a party environment? I forget.
Yeah. He had that tattoo of the piano keys on his left
Yeah,
forearm.
yeah, we definitely saw the same thing.
Oh,
But
yeah,
I'm
we
just like, that guy he wasn't who's hot, Ryan Gosling. Like, he wasn't whoever the Hollywood's it man
I'd
is
fuck
right
Ryan
now. He
Gosling.
wasn't Troy from or Brad Pitt from Troy. You know, he's or fuck, who's the High School Musical kid that got hot?
I don't know.
Zac Efron, right? If Zac Efron's got two girls sucking on his dick, I'm like, well, yeah, of course. You know, the guy's got that V thing. But this guy
Eating his
didn't.
ass.
This guy was just a regular dude who
We
maybe.
didn't
Yeah, but it
see-
was just
we
a
only saw the
movie,
top of his
or
belly.
what- It was a
No,
porn
it's
movie.
it's amateur porn.
I
It's
saw
amateur
enough
porn.
of his body that I'm pretty sure his breakfasts involve Count Chocula. But
Have
he's
you ever
still
been
getting
so
two
disappointed
girls.
looking
Wonderful
down at your belly when you were getting head that you just had to be like, actually, I prefer if I'm standing.
No,
Yeah.
No, I
No?
feel like that's a good
Well,
look
but
for
you
my
don't have a
belly.
belly at all.
No, I don't. I feel like I flex my abdominals like when that's going on. I'm like, oh, this looks good. Like I got some like the sides, I don't know what those muscles are called, but like right above your hips, those look nice when I'm lying back and that's happening.
That,
Like,
like Adonis belt area.
yeah, it looks good from that angle.
That is
Yeah.
still a distant island for me. Well, not really. If I flex, you can see him some.
Yeah, exactly.
But not enough that
You're doing a little
know.
flexing during that sort of act. So I'm looking for the gift now to like try to like shout out what subreddit it's on at least.
Was it amateur something? Amateur gifts? Amateur not safe for
Here
work?
it is. It's amateur. It's our amateur. The GIF is called Double Party BJ. Dude, I'm looking at this belly. I really think you're wrong. Like maybe it's a little hairy.
I don't think he's got even a 4-pack.
No, he doesn't have like visible abs or anything. But I mean,
I feel like that's a requirement for two girls at once. How?
it's absolutely not.
And I think those
definitely
girls,
not.
while the girls don't have 6-packs, have like an equivalent level of hotness, right? Like if you were to match up those girls with a matching guy, that guy would have at least a 4-pack. Yet this
I don't know,
person has no 4-pack and two of those girls, and it
and a
baffles me.
10-inch dick. Like you're
Maybe
really
his face is
discounting
to die for.
that his dick is this fucking long.
His
Like, I
dick
feel like you're
seems
not
small to me.
his dick is this fucking long. like you're really discounting that. You're like, oh, he doesn't even have a 6-pack, but his dick is this fucking long, dude. It touched battery. It touched stomach acid on that brunette at one point. Like the blonde tasted the brunette's lunch at one point. That was.
Oh, gross.
Oh, is it? Please, you don't have to taste it.
That's fair. Yeah. Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, I'm gonna have to go find that gift later because you guys are making it sound like a couple of very sexy girls.
This conversation's ruining my political career. I don't think anyone's going to vote for me at this point.
No, this is exactly why people need gigabit internet.
Yes,
For things
it all
like this.
ties in gigabit internet for everybody. My wife and I we were brainstorming different costume ideas, and mine was the lamest. I got it off the web. I was gonna wear a gold medal, something I got from this Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu competition, and have a loaf of bread and be a breadwinner, and that would have been even lamer than last year's contest with the paper towel roll. And she came up with this, which I'm actually pretty happy with. I'm a presidential poster.
Oh, this guy doesn't have a belly.
He
Right?
doesn't have a 6-pack. All right, let me. Yeah,
No.
look at that. He does have a belly.
Rudy's a hater. I'm gonna just throw that out right here. If you think that's a belly, like you're going for that Auschwitz look. I feel like your standards are far
I'm not
too high for
saying
men's
he's
physique.
fat.
You're getting 5% more gay for needing this man to have a more defined belly.
Kyle, how
What
much
are
gayer
we
can I get at this
at
point?
now?
Yeah, I mean this has been accumulating for years.
You're
At
98%
this point,
gay.
Woody is given 110%.
Your wife is all that. Like your wife is all that keeps you in the running of with straight men. That's it.
and my
like,
kids.
Your beard.
Like, it's
Yeah. I mean,
your beard.
John
That's fine.
Travolta has kids.
He does.
Yeah, but
does
he
Kevin
fondles,
Spacey have kids?
masseuses.
He does.
Masseuse? I don't know.
Masseurs.
I had surgery
Well,
yesterday.
sure.
I don't know if it's a great funny topic,
yeah.
but yeah, here I can try and show my. There's not much to see, but there. They pull. Oh wait, I could get the screws. I'm gonna text my wife and ask her. I kept the screws. We're gonna do
Very
something
cool.
with
Yes.
them. This will just take a minute.
That it's hard to move.
It's not.
No, not the foot. I think Kyle was meaning because of the costume, right? Like
Yeah.
maneuvering upstairs.
yeah, exactly. The costume. This part is attached to me. I don't know if I even fit through doorways at this point. I had to go sideways. But
So be honest. How much of the crafting did you do?
I was involved in the taping on part.
No.
And
Right. You're honest.
and in the brainstorming, but really my wife made all of this happen. She did great. Oh, but oh, here, do you have them? Ah, thank you. So, I have screws.
Oh, look at him in that fancy biohazard bag and some little vessels.
I haven't. Really
Is there
played-
any like woody viscera on there?
I don't think so.
Oh,
No, they
don't
look.
clean them.
They look super clean. They're self-tapping. I don't know if you guys can make out the front of it.
We
But
can't
they're-
see on that camera.
Oh, I'm sorry for you guys who want to see.
Oh, cool.
Huh.
What are they made of? Do you know? Is it titanium or is it steel?
I don't know. To touch it, I would say stainless steel, and they are Allen keys. It looks like on the head, and maybe 2 inches long. So this is what was holding. I don't even know, like a scalera tendon in place, something like that. Probably someone out there knows. And they just sort of screwed it to the bone, let it heal, and then remove the screws. Because apparently active people, which is what my doctor seems to think I am, they break those screws at some point, and then they cause trouble with loose screws hanging around in your ankle. So I got mine pulled, and now all the healing happens in a nice straight line forward, which I'm psyched about.
How long is that straight line?
Not long. I would guess physical therapy ends in November. I'm ballparking it.
Well,
And-
tomorrow's the beginning of November, so that's not bad at all.
Yeah. Maybe 2 or 3, 4 weeks, something like that, and I'll
Oh,
be
my
wrapped
milk
up.
expires.
2 Scaramucci's, and I'll be healed.
Yeah.
That's awesome. I
You're
hope you
good.
find something cool to do with those. Like I really think it would be cool if you found one of those blacksmiths that make the cool stuff on YouTube to make some sort of a knife out of it or something like that, or use it in some sort of a knife-like thing. I've been watching so many of those videos.
I love that idea. I've been talking about getting back into woodworking. I was actually getting back into woodworking, working on the shop and stuff, but the doctor said I was spending too much time on my feet to dial it back for a little bit. But yeah, I'm sort of setting up the shop again to start in there. And maybe I'll do a woodworking project and incorporate the screws. I'd like them to be visible, like so I can always point to them, not buried, in the middle of a chest of drawers or something.
So I said last week that I would keep up with my calories this week, and I've been doing a pretty good job. I've been eating a lot of fast food because we've been working a lot. I haven't had time to make dinners. But so I have the fast food receipts here. So last night I ate. This is all me. I got 2 number 11s from Wendy's, which are the 4-piece chicken tenders. So I had 8 chicken tenders, 2 large fries, 2 large root beers, and a large vanilla frosty. Earlier in that day, I had chicken korma curry with a big bowl of rice, and I had 8 slices of my strawberry butter toast, which were delicious. I had one of those frappuccinos from Starbucks, like the
Once
glass
you're
bottle.
past like a few slices, just be honest with yourself and say I had half a loaf.
How many
had-
calories do you think you're doing a day?
I don't know. I'll have to actually like sit down and do the math.
Dude,
'cause,
get my
like
fitness
looking
pal
up.
and put it all in there, and then it'll tell you exactly
I-
what
I may do
what
that.
level it is.
I think you
So-
should do that for PKA, like for Thursday, because
The night before last, I've been going to Home Depot, and there's a Captain D's near Home Depot. Those who don't know, that's like fast food fish, and I really like it. It's really good stuff. And I got the deluxe seafood platter with a baked potato, fries, and 6 hush puppies extra. It comes with 2. I wanted 6 more, so I had 8 hush puppies, 4. My mouth's watering. 4 fried shrimp, 3 pieces of fish I think come with it, and 2 soft shell crabs.
Oh man, dude, that is a meal 100% fried.
A baked potato.
Oh,
And with
and
lots
a
of sour
soda.
cream and butter.
Yeah.
And French fries. But that wasn't enough because the next night I was like, you know what?
Baked potato and French fries.
Yeah, I combined the 2. I was like, you know what? I really like that meal from Captain D's that I've been getting, this deluxe seafood platter. The problem is there are not enough soft shell crabs. So I went back the next night, got the same fucking thing, another deluxe seafood platter, baked potato fries, 6 hush puppies. I added 4 soft shell crabs. So I had 6 crabs that night. And that's just like my dinners. Like breakfast is always 4 pieces of strawberry butter toast and like 2 to 3 cups of coffee with just a teaspoon of sugar each, and a dash of milk. But that's got to add up over time.
And you don't feel sick after these meals? Like,
no, not even a little.
Huh? Like if I eat like at my grandma's, she'll make fried chicken. And I'll gorge myself on that, and I feel like I have to take a nap, and I'm just slow.
Oh, I take a nap.
Sluggish, and I don't feel sharp. Like
Yeah, I take a
if
nap.
someone was like, "Hey, you got to get this task done right now," I'm not like, "Oh, good thing I loaded up on energy." It's more like, "Oh, fuck," like I'm so slow.
After I eat one of those seafood platters, I eat it at like 8 p.m. and I have to sleep until like 9:30 p.m., 10 o'clock, and then I get back up and like go about doing my stuff until like 2 or 3 in the morning or something like that, then go back to sleep. But there's a required seafood nap after eating all of that. There absolutely is. And the next day, there's a minimum of 3 shits.
I've been going the other way.
3 shit minimum.
I've added coffee to my diet. Not a lot, not even every day. But I used to be like a coffee every 2 weeks, and now I'm like 3 a week. Sometimes I'll just be dragging or something, and it's like, yeah, you know what? There's a reason that we're still talking. That wasn't it.
I'm getting toward the end of the show anyway. I think it's been
Yeah.
top notch. I'm not sure where we go from here, really. I think
Yeah,
we
it's
should
Back
probably...
over an
on,
hour.
just so you know. But I don't know what. Yeah, they're writing rest.
And
in
I just
peace
put it in
the
your
chat
drink
now.
and bada boom, bada bing.
Yeah.
Just put an F to pay respects. That's right.
Yeah, so on my side, it just, like, the thing went black. It said it was going to try to reconnect in 10 seconds, and it succeeded. So I don't know why that
Cool.
happened. I'm kind of new to the streaming game on YouTube, I guess. They changed everything since I did it last. So, but yeah. Oh, Kyle, I have a question since you brought up your diet, maybe before we wrap the show. You used to be heavy. There was a point in your life. What was your top weight? Was it 230?
225.
225. So you weighed 225 at one point.
Yeah.
How can that have happened? If you can eat, go on.
I was completely sedentary. I was doing zero like moving around really. And I was playing Skyrim. This was when I got really into Skyrim, and I would sit and play Skyrim for hours and hours on end. This is like maybe 6-7 years ago, and I would eat Taco Bell, virtually like fast food every single night, and Red Bull. I pimped a Red Bull video for them that they were trying to promote, and they sent me like 2 cases of Red Bull. So it's nothing but sugar, I just had a Red Bull now, but I was drinking like Red Bulls like sodas, and I also got really into making these like fancy sandwiches. Like this is like a perfect storm of getting fat. I got
Fancy
really into
sandwiches?
making like fancy gourmet sandwiches. I was getting all these artisan breads and these special like gourmet sauces, like sauerkraut mayo or something like that. No. Like spicy mayos and mustards, and like I would make these 3-tiered sandwiches with like all kinds of meats and cheeses, and I'd make 2 of them at a time. And I really got into the Pepsi just had released Pepsi with real sugar. And I was like, this is the best soda of all time. So I remember not ordering, but I remember going to Sam's Club and just getting cases of it, like getting mini 12 packs of this stuff. And so I was drinking all sugar soda, eating $20 of Taco Bell every night for dinner, or McDonald's, one or the other. And playing Skyrim constantly. And I just got huge.
Did you
got really
realize
fat.
in the midst of the fattening what was happening, or was it kind of like one day you're just like, Jesus Christ, like?
I didn't care honestly that much. You know, I was still like getting laid, and it was I don't remember.
this.
I know what was the impetus for the whole weight loss thing. It was because we went on the paintball trip, and I just remember how exhausted I was and how burnt my thighs and legs were from like running, because if tons of fans showed up to this thing and I want to like be with them playing constantly. I feel bad if I'm not out there playing as much as I'm physically capable of doing it. So I just remember like the second or third day of playing being like, oh my God, I need rehab. My legs are so sore, but I got to go out there again. And just my legs were so shredded. It was like I was handicapped when I got to the airport. And that was what got me into the idea of working out. Oh, and then I started dating a new girl, and I bought a bunch of workout equipment, and like a bunch of things came together in a perfect storm to like get me out of that, So it
You know
was
what gets me when I'm heavy? It's not leg exhaustion, it's heat. I lost 20 pounds over this summer, and I was notably able to deal with warm temperatures better at the end than the beginning. Like that, I would just melt and
less insulation.
exhausted. Yeah.
What gets me is driving with my seatbelt on and like the lap band. Like if you look down or like you feel it pushing into your fat little belly, you're just like, oh man, like imagine what the people in my passenger seat think. When they look over and they're like, oh, look at Fat Taylor.
There's a special kind of wake-up call that lap band can give you. If your belly's, like on my truck, my belly can be over it. And as I lost 23 pounds. I'm back to my lowest recent weight. And yeah, I can feel the difference in the way that band is up on me.
Another one that'll get you is like if you wear the same pair of jeans really consistently. And so let's say I have a pair of 32 or 33 waist jeans, and I just keep wearing that one pair of 33s, and eventually that grows, and you're now a 35 or whatever, and your jeans, your 33s still fit because they've grown, and then eventually you stop wearing those and you grab another pair, and you put it on, and you're like, oh no, the true 32 has been revealed. Like, what the fuck are these? Like, have you ever tried to put on like jeans that you thought fit only to have them stop on your big fat fucking jello thighs, and you're like, and then you have to like waddle into the bathroom and look and be like, oh, what the fuck?
I'm the opposite of that right now. I've been going through like old jeans, and it's like I'm looking at like some like what were they, like Express for Men or something like that. I'm looking at these and I'm like, maybe, and I'm like, as they get to the thigh, I'm like, here's the moment of truth. It's like, and they're on, and it's like, all right, last moment of truth. If they button. And like I don't feel like love handles immediately start getting painful and spilling over, like, and it's like clip. Oh yeah, we just opened up a whole new wardrobe, boys. Like I got like 3 new pairs of jeans I can use.
That's right. I have a lot of jeans. I don't know, 10, 12 pairs. It seems like a lot to me.
Yeah.
But there will be like 3 or 4 I could wear when I was fat, and it wasn't that they stretched. It was that they were different makes, right? So this guy, makes my size and it fits fat people, and that guy makes my size and it doesn't. And I'm at a stage right now, and it'd be like, all right, I've got these 3 pairs that fit great. Those other 9 pairs, those are stupid jeans. Those jeans suck. It's clearly something defective about them. And but now I can just go through and pick any pair I want because I lost 23 pounds. And it is
pretty great.
But I want to lose 7 more.
For your whole wardrobe to be available. Yeah, 7 more. You're very close. You're like 65% of the way there, or whatever the math is.
I thought you got it right. I was like, really? Wow, I'm impressed.
I don't know.
I can do the math. You're 23/30th the way there.
Yeah, the 23/30. Yeah.
Kind of showing off, I know.
A little bit.
But
yeah, that's great. I think I'm proud of how we're all doing. Kyle, to you, it's more just not so much pride as it is befuddlement at how you're able to eat like this and still be thinner than both of us. And
I did eat that tapeworm.
It's a little upsetting. Oh,
I did eat that tapeworm,
Jerry,
that I got from Lindsay Lohan, and it's I think Jerry. Yeah, he I think he helps me with like 2,000 or 3,000 calories a day.
But Jerry likes sweet.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm not. I think I weigh about 165 pounds right now, something like that. So, which is shocking to me to think that at one point I was 60 pounds heavier than this. Like I'm imagining putting a backpack with a 45-pound plate and a 15-pound plate in it, and just living my life that way. And it's just, I die. And then I think about wings over there with it, barely fitting through doorways. Like it's just not. I couldn't imagine.
Everything's relative.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, with wings.
On the bright side, he'll never be taken hostage. Maybe used as a bullet shield. But.
He has to be in a bad place, right? That must be the root cause of all this eating. He must feel a little hopeless about his health, and that's what's cooking, I suspect.
Oh, what's cooking is a lot of fried food. That's what's cooking. You can smell it from down the street.
You live in such a glass house to be throwing fried food stones. You know?
Yeah, but I work it off somehow. I was out in the yard for 6 hours today,
Yeah.
and every day I do something. I do something. I go for a jog. I like jogging.
Do you like jogging?
Yeah.
No,
Yeah, I get a really
you
euphoric
don't.
feeling. I do. I absolutely do. Like after I'm done, I get a really euphoric feeling. Like after my lungs stop burning, and from the cold morning air or whatever, and I've had my shower, especially after the shower. Like once I get out of the shower and the sweat's off, and I'm like my body returns to room temperature and my skin doesn't feel hot anymore. It's like, oh man, I'm glad I did that. I feel limber and loose, and I got a little burn in my calves and in my ankles and stuff, and like I feel good. It's like an antidepressant or something. It feels good.
I've never in my
Good for
life
you.
had that from running. I've had it from swimming. Like, it's not like I've never been fit. But running, even the best version of me was just a plodding asshole who couldn't ever get that glide.
Yeah.
There are shoes for that.
I really think the problem goes deeper. I think there's something wrong with my build and my technique, and
The shoes fix they force you to run on your toes.
Is that what
instead
you
of
want?
you don't. If you're landing on your heel, you're doing it wrong. If you're landing on your heel and letting your foot roll forward, you want to be on the balls of your feet, like letting your feet be shock
Yeah.
absorbers.
Like how
springing
Legolas
off.
runs.
I've heard
Like how
flat to
Legolas
ball
was.
is what you want, and I've heard that heel is bad. I don't know.
I like to imagine that
Maybe
I'm
you know.
an elf as I run. Well, Joe Rogan told me much of what I know. He wears his special shoes for running.
Joe
Old
Rogan
Joe.
is both an expert and sometimes quick to jump on a trend. I'll watch him talk with diet experts and change his mind 4 times in a week.
He looks good to me.
He
And
does.
He's like 48 years
Yeah.
old. He looks like
I think he's over 50,
Yeah, all right, he's 50-something years old. He's old.
and he could
He's older
beat
than
up
he
both of
looks.
us at once.
Oh, almost certain.
He's older than Artie Lang.
He could take us both. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my God, he's older than Artie Lang. Oh, poor Artie. I like Artie, but god damn. Oh, you got to switch. That's too mean to say.
Okay. Wow. That's the first time I've heard Kyle say that.
Yeah, Kyle.
That's
What
too
is it? Too mean to
say.
type in the side?
I was gonna ask if you would rather trade if you have to trade places with one person, would you rather be this guy or Artie? And it's like, oh shit. Both have enlarged hearts. Both are gonna die in 5 years.
Cheese, can you bump that in case something tragic happens and we show the chat? My hands, not much of a typer. I've kind of got these alligator
This is
hands
too-
under my
what he's like,
costume.
this is too much responsibility. I can click the wrong thing.
Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah.
For people watching, sometimes when there's something in the chat that just can't be shared, I write bump 100 times and it pushes it off the screen. But because if the call drops, for example, then the words go in the middle and they get exposed, and you don't know, stuff happens.
Yep.
But
I'm sorry, I'm an asshole. It's just funny.
is that a wrap?
Right?
Yeah, I think
it's
so.
a
Hey,
wrap.
if you want to be exposed, if you will, to these PKNs on a more regular basis, get them as soon as they come out with our beautiful video essence on them and everything. You can just click the link down below, become a patron. It's rather affordable, as you'll see. So, yeah,
Yeah.
I enjoyed this.
I think
Yep,
it
I
might
hope you
be
enjoyed
cool
the
to work.
Halloween episode.
Yeah,
Ooh.
maybe we'll do live more often than we have been, or I don't know. We should talk and figure out what's a good idea.
Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely.
Very good. All right, Painkiller Nearly, episode 167.